Most people completely misunderstand what it actually takes to register a company in Singapore, and because of that misunderstanding, they either assume it is only for massive multinational corporations with high capital requirements, or they assume it is a quick online process with no real structure, only to discover a highly efficient, tightly regulated, and surprisingly foreign-friendly system that becomes extremely powerful once you understand how it actually works. And here's the surprising truth. Singapore is one of the most business-friendly countries in the world, consistently ranked at the top for ease of doing business, strong legal protection, tax efficiency, and global banking access, but its company formation system is built on precision, compliance, and structured approval processes that must be followed in the correct order. Now imagine this. Michael, a 35-year-old entrepreneur from San Diego, runs a successful SaaS business helping small companies automate customer onboarding and billing systems. His company is growing quickly, and his customer base is now global. But Michael starts noticing a pattern. More and more of his clients are based in Asia. And every time he looks at expansion opportunities, one country keeps appearing at the center of everything. Singapore. Stable economy. Strong banking system. Strategic location. Business-friendly tax structure. And a reputation as Asia's financial gateway. At first, Michael assumes setting up a company there will be simple. He thinks it will be like opening a new online account. Fast. Digital. Minimal friction. But when he starts researching the actual process, things become more structured. He encounters terms like accounting and corporate regulatory authority, commonly known as AKIA, company incorporation rules, registered filing agents, nominee directors, and compliance requirements. And suddenly, what looks simple becomes a structured legal process with defined steps. And this is exactly where most people stop. But what Michael doesn't realize yet is that Singapore's system is not complicated. It is optimized. And once you understand the sequence, it becomes one of the most predictable and efficient company registration systems in the world. And that is exactly what we are going to break down in this guide. Step by step. Clearly. Practically. In a way that makes everything understandable, even if you have never dealt with international company formation before. But here's where things get interesting. Before you even talk about registering an LLC in Singapore, you need to understand something fundamental. Singapore does not actually use the term LLC in its legal system the same way the United States does. The closest equivalent structure is called a private limited company, often abbreviated as PT Limited. And this structure is what most foreign entrepreneurs use when they say Singapore LLC. Now this is where Sarah enters the story. Sarah is an international business consultant specializing in Singapore company formation. She has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs set up companies in the country for SaaS, trading, consulting, and fintech businesses. She meets Michael after he spends several days trying to decode conflicting information online. Michael is confused. Some websites say company formation is instant. Others say you need local directors. Some mention high capital requirements. Others say you can incorporate in one day. And Sarah tells him something that immediately changes his perspective. You are not dealing with confusion. You are dealing with a structured system. Once you understand the rules, everything becomes predictable. And that is the turning point. Because Singapore company formation is governed by AKRA, and everything from naming your company to appointing directors to filing documents follows a strict but efficient process. And once you understand that structure, everything becomes logical. But here's the first major reality check Michael encounters. You cannot simply register a company in Singapore as a foreigner without meeting certain requirements. At least one local resident director is required for most company structures. At first, Michael finds this surprising. But Sarah explains why it exists. In Singapore, every company must have a locally accountable director to ensure compliance with national regulations. And that changes Michael's understanding immediately. Because now he realizes this is not a barrier. It is a governance requirement. And that leads to the first step. Choosing the company name. In Singapore, your company name must be approved by AKRA before incorporation. It must be unique, not misleading, and compliant with naming guidelines. Michael initially proposes a name like Global SaaS Automation Solutions International. But Sarah pauses him. In Singapore, clarity and simplicity are better. Overly generic or complex names may get rejected or delayed, so they simplify it to something more structured. And they submit it for approval. And here's where patience comes in. Name approval is usually fast, but it still requires regulatory screening. Michael waits. And this is where curiosity starts building. But Sarah reassures him. This is standard. The system is simply checking for compliance and availability. Then the name is approved. And the process moves forward. But here's where things become more structured. Next comes company incorporation through Acrea's online system called BizFile. This is where all official documentation is submitted. It includes shareholders, directors, business activities, registered address, and company constitution. At first, Michael thinks this is just administrative input. But Sarah stops him. This is the legal foundation of your company. Every detail defines your corporate structure. And that changes everything. Because now Michael understands this is not form filling. It is legal structuring. Every shareholder percentage matters. Every director appointment matters. Every business activity selection matters. And this is where Singapore stands out. Because precision is not optional. It is built into the system. But here's where things get even more interesting. Singapore allows 100% foreign ownership in most sectors, which makes it extremely attractive for international entrepreneurs. However, the local director requirement still applies, meaning foreign founders must either appoint a resident director or use a nominee arrangement. Michael carefully evaluates his options, and Sarah guides him through the trade-offs. This is not about control, it is about compliance structure. And that helps Michael make a strategic decision. But here's the next step. Once incorporation documents are submitted, ACAA typically processes approvals very quickly. In many cases, within 24 to 72 hours. Michael is surprised by the speed. And Sarah explains. Singapore is efficient because compliance is standardized and digitalized. Then the company is officially incorporated. And for a moment, everything feels complete. But here's where most people misunderstand Singapore company formation. Incorporation is only the beginning. Because after registration, there are additional steps required to fully operate. And this is where David enters the story. David is another entrepreneur who successfully incorporated a Singapore company, but assumed he could immediately start issuing invoices and opening accounts. But he quickly discovered that corporate banking in Singapore requires detailed due diligence, including business plans, source of funds documentation, and client verification. And that slowed him down significantly. Michael learns from that mistake. He prepares early for banking requirements. And this becomes critical. Because opening a corporate bank account in Singapore is highly structured. Banks like DBS, OCBC, and UOB conduct strict compliance checks. And they expect clarity, consistency, and real business activity. Michael prepares documentation carefully. Business model. Revenue projections. Client contracts. Operational plan. Everything aligned. And slowly, the process advances. But here's the deeper insight most people never fully understand. Singapore's company registration system is not designed for speed alone. It is designed for global credibility, financial transparency, and long-term business stability. And once you understand that, everything makes sense. Now imagine Michael one final time. A few months later, he is operating a SaaS business through his Singapore PE Ltd, company Ltd. He is serving clients across Asia Pacific, accessing reliable banking infrastructure, and benefiting from a globally respected corporate structure. What once felt like a complex legal system now feels like one of the most efficient business setups in the world. And that is the identity shift. From uncertain entrepreneur to structured global operator. From confusion to clarity. From assumptions to system-based execution. But before we finish, there is one final question. What mistakes do most people make when registering a company in Singapore? And the answer is consistent. They underestimate the local director requirement. They assume instant banking approval. They ignore compliance documentation. And they misunderstand that incorporation and operation are two different phases. But now you understand something most beginners do not. Singapore is not complicated. It is precise. And when you follow that precision step by step, the process becomes one of the most powerful and efficient company formation systems in the world. So if you are considering starting a company in Singapore, the most important takeaway is this. Follow the compliance structure. Prepare documentation properly. Understand operational requirements beyond incorporation. Because once you do, you gain access to one of the most trusted and globally integrated business environments on the planet. And what once looked complex becomes a clear pathway to international expansion. If you found this guide helpful, and want more deep, practical breakdowns of global business setups like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because the more you understand these systems, the more confidently you can build across borders in a truly global economy. And now, you are no longer looking at Singapore company formation as a confusing legal process. You are seeing it as a structured gateway into global business opportunity. And that changes everything.